Hello, and welcome to my first on YouTube review. Uh, I've been doing reviews on my Snapchat story for about a year now, and enough people have finally told me that I'm decent enough at it to where I'm going to give it a shot on YouTube. And this also gives me the opportunity to use the portrait video on my fucking phone. So here we go. For my first review, I'm going to be doing one of my favorite comic book fights ever, Invincible versus Conquest. And yes, there will be spoilers. So there's your spoiler warning. So first off, I should probably say that this is one of the most brutal fights I think I've ever seen in comic books. It is legitimately brutal. You have legs being broken, chunks of flesh being fucking ripped out of shoulders. Fuck, the end of the fight entirely is just gruesome. Like, it's gory as hell. And I'm not too big into the gore stuff, but I will say that the art in this comic book is absolutely phenomenal. It, like, you feel the weight of the punches when you read them. And it's very, very, very well done. Robert Kirkman hit a fucking grand slam with this series, and he hit a grand slam with this fight, because this fight is fucking brutal. When it starts, like, you kind of think it's going to be one of those more generic comic book clashes, like maybe a couple pages. No, it's almost like 2 chapters worth of fighting. And when I say fighting, I mean Conquest beating the absolute dog crap out of Mark. Like, pummels him like he owes him fucking money. And, like, you have parts in the fight that are, like, really, really well done. Like, Oliver, like, popping in and, like, knocking Conquest down for a second to grab Mark. Mark, like, being like, no, you can't be here. He's too strong. Like, he's kicking my ass. Your ass is going to get absolutely trounced. And he does. So, Conquest almost rips Oliver in half, and Mark receives even more damage trying to stop it. Well, his face, even at this point, is swollen. Like, it's mush. Like, how bad he was beaten at the end of Season 1 from Omni-Man, Conquest does worse. Like, I can't even begin to describe the gore and shit, the brutality of this fight. You have arms being snapped, legs being hit and broken. You have Adam Eve getting fucking punched through the stomach. Like, you have Conquest clapping his hands and breaking one of Eve's barriers. There are so many good moments in this fight. It is the fucking standard to me for fights. Like, if your fight is good, it will be comparable to Invincible versus Conquest. I think that's going to be the end of my review for this time. Usually my reviews get a little bit longer depending on how long-winded I am with what I'm talking about, but I have talked this topic to death on my Snapchat, so I've kind of run out of funny juices to say about this fight, other than Mark gets turned into a jabroni for most of it. So that's the end of the review. Hello, YouTube.